Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. I have the best video to start off the month of December with, and that is my very own first ever brand collaboration, and it happens to be, as you saw in the title, with Sigma Beauty. Sigma asked me to pick out my favorite Sigma brushes to bundle them up in a set, and so these are Patty Alonso's, that's me, favorite brush set with Sigma. I am over the moon about this collaboration. I could not be more excited to show you everything that I bundled up inside of this box. I wanted to make it so that it is a full face makeup application type bundle. I put 2 face brushes in here and 3 eye brushes that are beautiful multitaskers and that you could do a full face of makeup with. I cannot wait to show you. So if you are excited for today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get started. If you're watching this video, it means that the brush set is live on the Sigma website. I have the link to it down below in the description box, as well as my discount code. If you were to buy these brushes individually, the price would come out to be $107. However, because they are bundled up in a set, the set's price is $87, and you can get an additional 10% knocked off the price with my code Patty Alonso, the way it's spelled right here on the screen. So with Patty Alonso, you can get an extra 10% off of my brush sets. Let me show you what you'll be receiving if you order my brush set. This right here is the box that it will come in. It says Patty Alonso favorite brush set, and you have a picture of me there with my signature. I believe inside this box there also might be a card. However, they did not send me the card, so I just have the brushes in here, and I'm going to show you a close-up of the brushes that I selected. I'm going to tell you what I use these brushes for, and then of course we'll do a demo. That's why I don't have any makeup on, because we'll be doing my makeup with my brush set in today's video. I wanted to mention additionally that Sigma brushes are vegan, they are cruelty-free, and they have a 2-year warranty, which I think is excellent, because if you have any trouble with your Sigma brushes, within the first 2 years of ownership, they will replace your brush for free. So definitely a great deal there. Let's go ahead and get the brushes out. They all come individually wrapped in this paper, and I'm going to start by showing you the brushes that I selected for complexion, which are 2 different ones. I have this one here, which is the Sigma F47 brush. This brush is perfection when it comes to applying foundation. It is super dense, it doesn't leave any streaks behind, and it has a perfect size not just to blend out your foundation with, but also to blend out any cream or liquid contour or cream or liquid blush. I love this brush because it is a true multitasker. I'll show you in a second how I'll apply my foundation with it, as well as some cream cheek products. The next brush I selected is a powder brush, and I wanted this one also to be an amazing multitasker, which is why I chose the one I chose, and it has this beautiful shape that'll help for you to do so many different things with it. So this is the Sigma F44 powder sculpt brush, and as you can see, it's kind of like a fan brush type product, but like a lot denser. So you have a wider side to it and a much slimmer side right here on the side, which, like I said, helps you do so much with this brush. You can apply all over powder with this one. You can contour with it using it the thin way. You can apply your bronzer with it. You can apply your blush with it. And I'm going to be doing all of that in today's video so that you guys can see how much use you can get out of this one. Let's talk about the 3 eye brushes I picked next, with which, once again, you can do everything. So the first one is this one here, which is the Sigma F28. Take a look right here at what this one looks like. This is their detail buffer brush. And the reason I love this one is because it is much wider on one side and much slimmer on the other side. And just like for the big cheek brush, that allows me to do a lot of different things with it. So this is the one that I'm going to be using to buff out the crease of my eye, because I can use it the wide way around to really blend out any eyeshadow. But if you use it the slim way, you can build up intensity on the outer corner or slowly work in a shade throughout the crease. You can even put this brush underneath the eye for a diffused under eye blend, which is amazing. The next brush is this one here. This is the E24, which is Sigma's diffused blend brush. This one is a smaller brush that is still very fluffy, and it also has a wider side and a thinner side. This one I chose because I can really intensify things on the outer corner or inner corner of my eye with it. It's small enough that it fits here. It can build intensity for me, and at the same time I can buff out any edges because it is an excellent blending brush. And because it's slightly smaller than the previous one I showed you, you can get a bit more detailed with this one. You can also use it underneath the eye, of course. It's just an excellent brush, a true multitasker, and I absolutely love it. And then last but certainly not least, we have this one here. This is the Sigma E57, their firm shader brush. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that for me a flat brush, a shader brush, is an absolute must-have. And this one, just like the previous brushes I showed you, is a true multitasker. So with this brush, you can pack shadow on the center of the eyelid. It has a small rounded tip so you can define your eyelid with it, work on the inner corner, and because it is very thin right here on the side, you can also smudge eyeliner or eyeshadow right in between your lower lashes down here. This one truly allows you for a lot of precision wherever it is around your eye that you might want to use it. So it is fantastic. I am extra thankful and extra excited to have this opportunity to collaborate with Sigma, because Sigma has always been a brand of firsts for me. So the first ever professional brush set I ever had was a Sigma brush set, and it was actually also a favorite slash collaboration brush set. Back in the day, I'm sure a lot of you might remember Jaclyn Hill released her favorite Sigma brush set collaboration, and I was dying to own some Sigma brushes. So because it was a discounted bundle, I went ahead and bought that set. I have a picture of the day I received it buried on my Instagram account still. I'm going to find it to show you right here. This was my favorite ever professional brushes I ever owned, and so it's truly a full circle moment for my first ever collaboration with a brand to be with Sigma Beauty, and the fact that I get to select my own favorite brushes and create this bundle that you guys might want to get your hands on. I cannot believe it. Besides that, Sigma was also the first brand ever to reach out to me and send me a box of their products. When I first started my YouTube channel, I think I had been doing YouTube maybe for a year, and I only had like 1,200 subscribers or so. I also have a video doing the unboxing buried here on my YouTube channel. They were the first brand to ever send me PR, and so as I said, this is a truly exciting full circle moment for me. And so I truly hope that you guys love these brushes just as much as I do, and that they bring you as much joy as they bring me. I am super thankful to Sigma for wanting to collaborate with me. I cannot believe my face and name are going to be on their website. I'm super stoked. So let's go ahead and put a full face of makeup on using my favorite brush set from Sigma. I'm going to start my makeup with the Fenty Beauty Blurring Cream Stick today, and I'm using it as a primer because I had a bit of a rosacea flare up recently, and so I feel like my face is a bit extra red right now. And so with the F47, the multitasker brush, I'm going to just smooth out that cream product all throughout the center of my face. So I'm doing center of my forehead and right here on the center of my face and my cheekbone. Same thing over on this side. This was the reddest side. So I added just a little bit more over here so that the redness would go away. And as you can see, this brush blends creams super, super easily. And it's very precise if you don't want to just go everywhere with it. At keeping the product exactly where you place it. I feel like a better demo of that will be once I apply my contour. But take a look at that stick as a primer with whatever's left on my brush. I'm just going to go over my chin. I'm going to use a pretty liquidy foundation today. This is Pat McGrath. And I wanted to use this one so that you guys can see how good this brush is at not leaving any strikes behind. So I'm just going to grab and blend. Usually the more liquidy a foundation is, the easier it is for a foundation brush to not apply it evenly. But as you can see, this Sigma F47 is fantastic at just blending everything super smoothly. So let's do the same thing over here. Just blend out my very liquidy foundation. And you can take a look right here at how evenly everything has been applied so far. For my under eyes, I'm going to start with a color corrector. This is the Sigma Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in light to medium, and I'm going to use this shade here just with my finger to color correct right in the inner corner of the under eye. I've been using this one a lot lately and I love it because it color corrects and brightens at the same time. Just take a look at how good that is at hiding my under eye circles. I love it. For concealer, just for a bit more brightness, I'm going to use my Very Valentino concealer here. And I'm applying it as I normally would. Just packing it on a little bit here in the center, nose, and chin. And this is super liquidy, very lightweight. It's not going to add a lot of product to the face, even though it seems like a lot right now. And so with the 47 multitasker brush, I'm just going to pat it in place everywhere I placed it. Just patting underneath the eye as well. And I'm going on the eyelid with whatever is left. Okay, my concealer is blended. And before I move on to powder, I have one more thing to blend out with my 47 brush, and that is my contour. This is my Westman Atelier contour stick, and I'm just going to apply it as I normally would, right under the cheekbone, forehead, sides of the nose, and jawline. And once again, with the F47, we are blending it all out. I think the best way to blend contour is just to pat it in place so that it blends in exactly where you placed it. And look at how beautiful and natural everything is diffusing. The contour is blended, I look super shiny. It's time to start powdering this face. And so I'm done with the F47. However, if I were to want to apply a liquid or cream blush, I would do it right now, and I would also use this brush to blend it. Basically, this brush is perfection when it comes to any liquids or any creams that you want to apply to your face. For all of my face powders, I'm going to be using the F44 from Sigma, the powder sculpt brush, and I'm going to start just with a translucent setting powder to bring the shine down a bit and hide away some of these pores. So I'm going to just pat the powder in the center of the face. I'm doing the under eye area and the cheekbones first. Also a little bit of powder on my eyelids. And I'm using the pink powder from Danessa Myricks. So same thing over here. Let's powder the nose a bit. And last but not least, I need to powder this forehead. Because I have dry skin, I don't powder all over the face, but if you do, you could do it with this brush. I like to just do the center of the face and the under eye area. Because I already sculpted my face a bit with a cream, I'm going to use a very soft bronzer. This one is from Sigma Beauty, and it is their matte bronzer in the shade Lights. So with the F44, of course, I'm going to just start applying it on my forehead and cheek area. I grabbed a little bit too much bronzer. I forgot that these are pretty pigmented. Okay, so let me just kind of sloppily place it on first, and then I'll show you how I like to use my brush. Okay, I think that's a fair amount. So as you can see, I grabbed it with one side, and I'm just going to go back and forth with that flat side of the brush all throughout my forehead area to kind of buff my bronzer in place there. I'm going to flip that side upside down and buff upwards on my cheekbone because I don't want my bronzer to go over here, like down here. I want it to go from here upwards, right? So this is where the shape of this brush is something that I love because you could do so much with it. I'm actually grabbing a little bit more on that same side. And once again, I'm buffing upwards and repeating over here. It's thin enough that I can go over my forehead with it and just keep the bronzer application precise. Lastly, I'm turning my brush again and I'm applying the bronzer on my jawline, just like so. Powder and bronzer applied, and so the last thing I'm going to do with this brush is apply my blush. I can even do my highlighter with it if I wanted to right here. I don't know if I'll do that. I'll think about it. But for now, I'm flipping from my bronzer side to the side that I haven't used much yet. And this right here is the Pillow Talk blush from Charlotte Tilbury, which is one of my all-time favorite blushes because of how natural it is. And so I'm packing that blush onto my brush and I'm going to start blending it right here, starting on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm patting downwards right here and going upwards at the same time. So starting here and I pat down but go up so that it blends nicely into my bronzer. Same thing over on this side, of course. I love this blush so much. It goes with everything and everything is very easy to apply with this brush right here. I don't want to not show you how I would apply highlighter with this brush, so I'm going to go for it. This is the Anastasia Glow Seeker highlighter in the shade Sun Idol, and I'm just going to grab some with the tip of this brush and very, very lightly add it to the top of my cheekbone here. This is not the ideal highlighter brush. I would usually go for something smaller, but you can use it for highlighter if this brush set were to be all you had. Okay, so my complexion is done. I'm about to move on to the eye look, and as you saw, I did everything using only these two multitaskers from Sigma that are part of my brush set. For eyes, I'm going to be using a Sigma eyeshadow quad that I love. It is this one here in the shade Bun Bun. We have a crease color, a color to darken up things with, and a couple of lid slash inner corner shades. So let's go ahead and go for it. The first brush I'm going to grab is the E28, which is perfection when it comes to blending colors on your crease. And so I'm going to get the shade Soft with this brush, and I am going to just back and forth blend that color all throughout the crease of my eye, just like so, making sure everything looks nice and diffused. I'm grabbing a little more just to add to the outer third of the eyelid here. And this one, as you saw, blended immediately. Grabbing some more, and we are doing the same thing over on this side. So I always start on the outer corner because that's where I want the most intensity. And then I'm going to position my brush sideways here and just back and forth. With windshield wiper motions, the brush will just do the job for you. It'll just diffuse everything immediately. Let's do a bit more, just like with the first eye, just to intensify the outer third a bit and intensify the crease back here. The color Soft is blended, and it's actually not super soft. It packs a bit of a punch, but it looks beautiful all throughout the crease. I'm going to be a bit more detailed next with the shade Chocolate, and so I'm going to switch to the E24 and just grab that color and pack it on the outer third of my eyelid here, packing it in place first, and then back and forth with the tip of my brush. I'm just going to diffuse the shade Chocolate into the shade Soft. I'm doing little circles on the upper edge of where I placed it here to create that beautiful diffused smoky effect, and repeat over on the other side, just packing it in place first, and then with the tip of it, little circles to blend into my crease shade. Okay, so here's what those two colors look like blended into one another, nice and smoky. And so with the last brush, this is the only one I have left to use. This is the E57. I'm going to grab the shade Berry here, and this brush packs quite the punch. So I'm going to just dab berry all throughout the center of the eyelid. Just packing the shade in place. Let me grab some more and repeat on this side. This is a beautiful mauvey pinky shade with pink sparkles. And I'm leaving a space on the inner third of the eye because I want to brighten with this color here. So I'm flipping my brush to the other side and I'm going to grab the shade Liquor here, or Liqueur, I'm not sure. This color. And of course, pack it on the inner third and inner corner of my eye and blend it into the pink shimmer. Repeat on this side. I can define my eyelid with this lighter shade as well. I wiped off my E57 on my color switch and I'm going to, with the tip of it, grab the shade Chocolate. Because like I said, this brush is good for the eyelid, but you can also pack a bit of a punch under the eyes with it. So with the shade Chocolate, I'm going right underneath my lower lash line and I'm going to smudge things with it right down here, connecting it with the top of the eye on the outer corner and around halfway in. Same thing over on this side. This brush is just the perfect size to work on top and also underneath the eye. I wiped off the E24 on the color switch as well, and I'm going to grab the shade Soft with the tip of it. And so with this brush, we are smoking out the under eye area. This time I'm taking it all the way to the tear duct area and diffusing right down here, just back and forth with the tip of the E24. So here's the eye look almost completed. I'm going to do some eyeliner and mascara. Alright, so after a bit of eyeliner in the waterline and applying some mascara, this right here is the finished eye look using my favorite Sigma brushes. And so all I have left to do is my lips, which I don't need brushes for. I'm going to use a lip liner from One Size Beauty in the shade Pink Remix, just for a little bit of definition on the lips. And then the star of the show is going to be this amazing product from Sigma, which is their lip cream, specifically in the shade Dapper. This is my favorite color. We're doing a monochromatic look today, as you can see. So right in the center and a little bit over that lip liner, since they're not the same exact shade. I'm letting my hair down, and so this right here is the finished makeup look using my favorite brush set from Sigma Beauty. I honestly couldn't be prouder of the brushes that I chose for my set, because as you saw, you could truly do a full face of makeup just with these 5 brushes. All of them have incredible sizes and also the best shapes and densities to make them true multitasking brushes to do your full face with just these 5. If you guys are interested in supporting me and also getting some amazing quality brushes, please shop my brush set with Sigma. I have the link down below in the description box of this video, and don't forget to use my code Patty Alonso for an extra 10% off the brush set. If you're shopping anything Sigma Beauty, you can always use my code for a 10% off discount. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. The response from my friends that I've told about this set has been incredible. So I cannot wait to see what you guys have to say down in the comments today. I love you all so much. Thank you for always supporting my channel. Without your support, I would not be here today, and this would have never happened. So even if you don't shop my brush set, I am eternally grateful that you're watching my videos and that you trust me and my beauty product recommendations. If you guys like this video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up. If you have a friend who you think might be interested in my brush set, please send them my video. I love you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye.